Okay, now we're continuing the festivities out here at this wonderful barbershop buzz here at Heads Up Barbershop on Welly Avenue. As you can see, we have 94.3 with the music. We have a lot of fathers. We've heard a lot of comments. But today I want to get the perspective of my boss, actually, and the executive director of the New Haven Family Alliance. And she's going to give her take on what a dynamic dad is and what her perspective of a dynamic dad is, and if she had a dynamic dad in her life. Miss Barbara Tenney.
Thank you, Rodney. So I don't know how it's so. Yes, my father was a dynamic dad, and he was my role model for what a dynamic dad was. But he was not a dynamic dad on his own. The men of his generation took their responsibility as fathers very seriously. It was a part of their identity. Their responsibilities to their children, their responsibilities to their families, and their responsibilities to their communities.
All right, everybody. Now what I want to do is I want to open it. This is what we call the barbershop. And as a young black man, we all know that this is where all the conversations take place. As men, we come in here, we sit down, we're comfortable with each other. So I want to open the floor up to almost every barber and person sitting in the chair patronizing these barbers to the question about what a dynamic dad is. For those that are dynamic dads, please chime in as to what you do to show that you're a dynamic dad when you're home with your wife and your children. And for those that have dynamic dads, let us know what your dad did for you that shows you that he's a dynamic dad. So right now the floor is open to the barbershop. Let's get this conversation going. Whoever wants to start, chime right on in. I think it would definitely be good to start with Mr. Chance here.
Well, growing up, I didn't have a dynamic dad, but all my friends had dynamic dads, and just watching how they spent time with their fathers and on the weekends going fishing and things of that nature, it made me say one day when I had kids, that's what I was going to do, and I wasn't going to be like my father was. So today I think that I am a dynamic dad, and I spend time with my kids. It's not about money. It's not about what you can do for them. It's about being there and being able to support the things that they want to do, and just having someone to talk to and someone to cry with, someone to laugh with. So, I think I'm a dynamic dad, and I know a lot of these barbers in here are dynamic dads, and not only to their kids, but to some of the kids that come in here, because we talk to these kids. We spend time with them every week. We hear their problems. We hear their goals. We hear their accomplishments. So, I know that this barbershop is where it can start with people being dynamic dads. That's what I want to say.
That is so true. And even growing up, I always came to the barbershop. But like you said, these barbers in here are not just fathers to themselves. They're fathers to a lot of kids in the community that come in here and use them as a support. So these are also dynamic barbers along with dynamic dads.